Come along for this read aloud. Today we're going to start a new book. It's called Bound to Blood and Moonlight, and it's a very good werewolf billionaire romance. So buckle in. As always, I read for you, and you enjoy the plot. As usual, I'll read chapter by chapter. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Let's begin. I walked into his office to kill him. I had spent years planning my revenge against Damien Blackthorne, the man who destroyed my family. But the second my eyes met his, my heart didn't race with hate. It didn't scream. It didn't burn. It felt like it finally found where it belonged. He's supposed to be my enemy, the monster who killed my father and took everything from me. But the moment he looked at me, my soul recognized him as its mate. If he's the villain I came here to destroy, why is his touch the only thing that makes me feel safe? I came for his blood. But the terrifying truth is, I ended up losing my heart. Bound in blood and moonlight, or as I like to call it, mated to the man I wanted dead. A dark billionaire werewolf romance full audiobook. This is the story of how I am mated to the alpha who murdered my father. And this is the story of Leora Hale, the daughter of Frederick Hale, a fallen and forgotten alpha. Chapter 1. Blood on the Snow. Leora was 7 years old when the world shattered. She traced a deep scratch in the wooden floor with her finger, and then it happened. It wasn't a loud crash. The house seemed to inhale violently, shivering under some unseen force. The window behind the broken dresser exploded inward. Shards of glass and a spray of snow burst across the floorboards where she crouched. Curiosity vanished instantly, replaced by sheer terror. She pressed her hands to her ears and flattened herself against the splintered wood. Cold winds stabbed through the room, carrying the sharp scent of the forest, and something else. Something wild. Something predatory. Then a massive shadow detached itself from the doorway. Too tall, too broad. Its outline was vaguely wolf-shaped, but impossibly large. Leora felt its hot, heavy breath wash over her, fogging her own in the frozen air. Her father moved before she could think. He lunged across the floor on a badly mangled leg, shoving her violently farther behind the broken dresser. Blood poured from his wound, soaking the rug in seconds. When he turned to face the shadow, his body shielded her completely. But the truth struck her instantly. This was not rescue. It was a last stand. Helpless grief swallowed her panic. She wanted to scream, to run, to grab him, but all she could do was press her small hands into his back. Run, Leora, run. Not again. Those golden eyes. His voice was a strained whisper, thick with pain. He shuddered, and in that brief, unguarded moment, she looked past his shoulder. 2 brilliant pinpricks of light glimmered in the darkness, unmistakably golden. Her father used the last of his strength to shove her, not toward the front door, but toward the small, hidden kitchen exit. The effort tore a guttural sound from his chest. Leora froze, her body refusing the instinct to flee. His eyes found hers, wide, pleading. His silent command was clear. Survive. Remember, the eyes, he rasped. Don't trust them. Don't stop. And then she ran. Down the narrow hall, through the hidden exit. Loose snow crunched beneath her bare, freezing feet. Behind her, a horrifying scream tore through the house, muffled by the walls, but not silenced. Leora bolted upright in bed, a strangled gasp tearing from her throat. The golden eyes of the dream vanished. But her chest heaved, drenched in cold sweat. Her heart hammered, jagged, frantic. The apartment was silent, sterile, safe, or as safe as it would ever feel. Her hand trembled as it found the antique silver pendant resting at her chest. Her father's pendant. The metallic tang of sweat mixed with the cool air. Beneath her grip it felt oddly warm, as if reacting to the memory. She swung her legs off the bed. Feet met the cold floor, shoulders squared, spine straightened. She repeated her father's warning silently, letting the old trauma sharpen into resolve. The fear of the golden eyes was still there, but it fueled something else, a need for truth, for vengeance. Today was the day she walked into their den. She clenched the pendant tightly, metal biting her palm. I'm coming for the truth. The envelope on her nightstand contained Marcus's instructions. She unfolded the crisp paper, scanning file names, dates, and project codes tied to the final year of her father's life. One line, circled in red ink, froze her heartbeat. Find the encrypted file. The stakes were clear. Failure here wasn't just professional, it was personal. Everything she did from this point forward mattered. At the mirror, she smoothed the simple blazer of her cover identity. Clara Hale. She tested the name aloud. Clara Hale. The practice backstory followed. Junior analyst, city college degree, 1 year at a small firm, steady, believable, but brittle. Leora fought against Clara. Clara had the access. Clara held the key to Blackthorn. I want to learn from the best. She forced the words past her lips, bitter in taste. For a moment, her memory of snow, blood, and her father's sacrifice refused the lie. The taxi stopped. Leora stepped out, eyes drawn upward. Blackthorn Tower swallowed the sky, a black monolith scraping low, gray clouds. Intimidation slammed into her, a physical reminder of human vulnerability against the organization's power. Rumors whispered about Damien Blackthorn, the CEO with predator's eyes. Golden. Inhuman. Wind funneled through the skyscrapers, sharp and metallic, whistling a note out of place in the city. She kept her gaze low, forcing herself to see the tower as nothing more than steel and glass. Then she passed a mirrored window. Her reflection flickered. For a heartbeat, a wolfish shadow appeared over her body. Her mind rebelled. And yet she recognized the eyes. Gold, brilliant, terrifying. A faint vibration ran through the ground into the glass beside her. She stepped back onto the curb. What was that? A sudden gust hit her full in the face. The wind carried the musky, predatory scent she remembered from childhood. Snow, blood, the kitchen, the attacker's scent. Logic screamed. This corporate tower was tied to that night. Instinct screamed, run. But the pendant pulsing under her blazer reminded her. Duty, resolve, memory, justice. She gripped the railing, forcing the cold metal into her chest. A single rhythmic thrum pulsed through her, echoing her heartbeat. Fear and determination collided. But the choice was clear. She stepped forward. The glass doors of Blackthorn Tower hummed faintly, as if sensing her approach. Wind tugged loose strands of hair. Her fingers brushed the hidden pendant one last time. Dread crystallized into resolve. The conflict that had haunted her for years, terror versus vengeance, was decided. She lifted her gaze to the impossible height of the tower. Truth, answers, justice, confirmation of who had spilled blood on snow. She drew in a steady breath. Time to meet the monster who ruined my life.